Okay. Well, Charlotte can show her Armericaria, whatever it's called.
I don't know what it's really called. I heard it was just the white Neomerica, but then it also shows up that it's Trimisia.
Which is
So,
another genus.
you know how we keep changing things. So, yeah, the species are related, the white one and the blue one.
Does it have the same type of growth habit and that tall?
It's shorter. Actually, Dachshund brought a plant at the last meeting, which I don't know if it's exactly the same as this one because I think there's two different white ones.
Ah,
So his might be a different version of the white one, but it should look pretty similar. And I've had it for quite a few years. I got it as a cutting from a woman, an iris grower, and it kind of made a bloom now and then again, but not
oh,
much. And then I had two blooms, but I missed the open stage.
oh, you mentioned that.
I saw it in bud, and then I saw it all shriveled up because these flowers only last a day, maybe. If it's really warm, it may not even last a whole day. So I was real excited today to see it in full opening. And then I
Nice.
saw a second one in full opening. So I guess it's finally built up enough
Reserves.
yeah, mass to produce flowers, and hopefully I'll continue to see different flowers popping up.
My
The
big
blue
purple
one.
one, it finally got some size. It bloomed last year though. This big old long stalk with a bud, big old fat bud on it, and crunch broke off. I stuck it in a
Uh,
thing of water. I should see if it opened. And Bobby obviously had her thing going.
The picture you see, the plant is about 10 by 10.
Is it going to be a shrub, or it almost looks like the elderberry that has the dark foliage, that kind of thing.
What this is, I was going through Orchard Nursery in Lafayette, which has got nice, posh plants at nice, posh prices. But I've realized that I can just buy them and mark them up to give to my clients.
Uh-huh.
They don't care. So, anyway, I saw this plant in an arrangement they had at the front. They do these fancy arrangements at the front of the store to lure people in. And so I saw this in a container with a lot of other plants, and it had labels, which was great. So I grabbed one of the labels, which I have here in my hand, and I said, I want this plant. And she said, "Oh, we don't have that." I said, "I beg your pardon. Want to see it?" So I held her forward and I said, "See?" And she said, "Oh, gosh. Well, I'll find out if we can get it." I handed her a label. And so what it is a Pomea batatas. It's one of the sweet potato, ornamental sweet potato. And you guys have seen the gold color ones, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, they have the dark one too, but they have the kind of heart-shaped leaves. Yeah.
There's a lot of them. They're little perennial things. And um, I loved it because it has a black foliage with that kind of limey green coming up in the middle. It's not going to have any flowers, but what it does, it can live in full sun or part shade. Well, this is part shade. It gets some sun, dappled sun. It's called Ipomea batatas Sweet Caroline Medusa Black. And Ipomea Medusa Black would get you in the ballpark.
Shall we put it in the chat?
I'll write it in there.
Excellent.
And
Okay.
yeah. And so right now it's only about, oh gosh, I don't know, 6 inches high, 8 inches high.
Was it like in a 4 inch or was it a gallon?
Well, it's supposed to be 4 inch, but these little pots were 6 inches. So
Hmm.
I took the plunge and I bought a flat and
Wow.
put a whole bunch of them in my client's garden. Then I gave a few away as kind of bribes to people I know. And then today we planted four of them in my garden. And this is spaced at 12 inch. It's going to get up to 30 inches wide and it cascades over walls.
So
And
is
I
it
think,
kind of viney or
no,
scrambling like
it's a
or
scrambler. See,
jasmine, kind of like?
it's got a single foot, it's like a heuchera. It
Oh,
is
okay.
It is a perennial.
This is a new color for Ipomaea.
Is this fabulous?
Have you used it before?
No, this is in my garden. I just planted them this morning.
Yeah, but you've never had them through a winter, right?
No, but you know what? I bet it's got a sweet potato.
Yeah, I
And
know. And
so
they
what
rot
I
usually in our
think, this is
rains.
my guesstimate. I think it might overwinter in the ground for me, but I thought also it might be worth digging up one or two and just putting the sweet potato in some soil in pots in my greenhouse, and they
Yeah.
should show up next year, no problem.
As
But
long as it's warm enough, they really, and you don't get it too wet in your greenhouse.
okay,
Don't water it a whole lot. It's a summer tropical. Well, it's a tropical.
it's a semi-tropical, I'd say. Yeah.
Well, it's tropical actually. That's why they don't winter over easily. And the tropics are dry in the winter, in the short season or the darker season.
And this one said, you can, if you want, you can put it like liquid fertilizer on it, but it said water it maybe once a week because
Yeah.
it's got the potato,
Got the storage.
so it's
Yeah.
got a little storage unit underneath it. So this is entirely a test, and I thought it was a very cool
Fun.
thing. Yes, I thought it was just
It's a
beautiful.
new kind of sweet potato too, I'll tell you.
There's a whole line, I bet, under Sweet Caroline.
All right.
These are proven winners. I love proven winners. They're, that company, proven.
They're
winners.
proven.
Yeah.
We had Rick Shellhorn speak to us years and years ago. He died, but he spoke to us years ago from
We should-
Proven Winners.
We should have somebody else from Proven Winners come because they're being very creative with stuff.
Yeah, they are. They're out of Florida. I don't know anybody anymore from there because
We could just call them on the phone.
Yeah, you can email them.
You
Yeah.
could do that, Bobby.
Okay, I'll write it down.
No, I mean it seriously.
I know, I
Anybody
could
can
do
ask.
it. I just need to put it on a little piece of paper along with all the other little stickers.
Little pieces of paper that are around on your desk.
The
and your-
little stickers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know about all of that real well.
Mhm. And yeah, I thought I'll write its name on chat. Here we are. Hang on. So
That's
this
a real
is
pretty plant.
this is for everybody. How do you change the chat to everyone? There, bingo. Bip. I thought it was divine. And everybody I've given it to, I gave it to some novice people to see how they succeed. But I also gave it to some plant crazy people, and they went, "Oh, what is it? What is it?" They
So
were-
does Orchard have more now?
Well, I think what you need to do is go to Orchard and say, "I saw Ipomea Medusa Black. Where do you have it?" And they'd say, we don't have
Well-
it right now. Are you going to get more? They should have bought another flat for the store for.
Well,
crying.
that's what I was asking. Did you bought the flat from them, right?
I ordered a flat,
Yeah.
and they brought it in, and I paid for it. Yes.
But you don't know if they got a flat for themselves or not.
I don't think so because they'd never heard of it because they didn't pay attention to whoever did the arrangements at the front of the store. See, the whole conversation was very kind of lost in between.
Yeah, but I mean, the plant buyer obviously saw it when it came in. and said,
Well, what they should do is someone else should call in and say, "I just saw Apomea Medusa Black that my friend got at your store. Do you have more?" Everybody should call in, and then they'll go order more. We could also show it to curious, whatever there are.
Laura, or you
Ma'am.
could go to Grand Ace. He always orders anything.
Oh, he
you
probably
ask.
has some. Yeah.
Oh, Ace would have it. Yeah, wouldn't they? Maybe I don't know if they have it.
Or
We could
even
ask them to
East
get
Bay
it.
Nursery. I mean, I make at least a monthly trip in now to that area to both places, and I always find something.
See, East Bay Nursery is a sister nursery to Orchard. The same
East Bay
family.
Nursery is? I didn't realize
No,
that.
Yeah,
it isn't.
it's the same family. And there's another
Well,
one.
The
No,
one
no,
in
they're
Livermore
related.
is.
They're
The lady-
related.
yeah.
Yeah, they told me that too. Jackie, who helped write Ernest Wertheim's book.
145.30.
Well,
Anyway,
Jackie's over in Livermore at
Right, but she told me that
That's
East
the
Bay
other
is part
nursery.
of the family.
oh,
That-
interesting.
Oh,
I didn't realize
really?
that.
there's the other big nursery out
Yeah,
in
but
Livermore.
East Bay has a lot more stuff than Orchards does.
Do they?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'll go
Are
look.
you kidding? Every time I go to Orchards, I'm disappointed, and I go to East Bay, and it's like, oh my God.
Oh, I drive
They're
by there
closed
all
on
the time.
Sunday, so that's the beef I have with them.
And Monday.
They're open on, what is it?
Orchard,
Tuesday.
you mean, is closed Sunday and Monday.
Orchard
No,
is
East
Orchard's
Bay.
closed Monday and Tuesday.
They're open Wednesday,
I
Thursday,
think East Bay's
Friday,
closed on
Saturday,
Sunday.
and Sunday. Orchard is.
No,
You
I
gotta,
think East Bay's open all the time.
you
I
gotta,
don't
you
think
gotta,
so. I've tried
Nope,
East Bay
they're not.
several times on Sundays and they're closed.
you gotta
And
look. You
Monday
gotta
too.
look it up. Anyway, they have a lot of very rarefied things, and I thought this was worth sharing. So here, there you go.
It's
And I'm
very
going to write
cool.
its name here under
I went to a
everyone.
fun event at Morning Sun Nurseries, the one that Cricket was going to be talking at.
Vacaville.
I went later though.
Vacaville. Morning.
But that
The
was a fun. She had
Vacaville one.
bats, or they had all sorts of little vendors and display things. And when one was the bats, and they had them out there and showing how it echoed. They had something that translated its noise into sound. And so, she turned them upside down and go. So that was kind of
You're
fun.
right. Closed Sunday and Monday. I
East
just
Bay
checked.
Nursery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was this in like a special fair they had there? Because
Yes, they did. They had
thinking-
music. They had food. They had, like I said, vendors and informational stuff and of
yeah,
course
because
plants to buy.
they grow cool stuff no matter what. I
Yeah,
took
no,
Byron there and he went nuts.
who did?
Byron from Logis,
Oh,
I took him there and he did a lot of shopping.
Oh, fun. How's your worms, Jeff?
They're doing pretty good.
Wiggling around?
I keep on pulling little smidges out to mix in with all of the watering that I do, and it makes me feel like I'm being a super good gardener.
The ones
do you-
you,
You
the
spread 'em
ones
around
you
to the garden?
gave me. Yeah, he gave me a little handful, and they've succeeded. It's taken a while, maybe because it was a bit cold, but they joined a few of the older worms, and now there's quite a few.
They like warmer weather, that's for sure.
I'm happy. They're great. I find them in my compost too, and I never put them there. So they somehow have gotten there.
Welcome, everybody. Well, welcome to May meeting. We're going to do the plant share. And I want to thank Janet Hoffman and Heather Grabowski and Jeff Harder, Charlotte Amasan, and Kristen Yanker Hansen, and everyone else that's going to be contributing. Appreciate that. Okay, so here's my latest. I mentioned I went to the Morning Sun little festival the other couple weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago. And I bought this. I love Black-Eyed Susan vine, Thunbergia alata, and they have all sorts of new colors and variations. But I like the orange one. And this is not the really dark orange one. This one kind of comes out dark orange and then it fades. And it was a 4-inch pot, like I said, 2 weeks ago. And I wanted something to climb up my column there. And I was debating on what I should use to let it go up. And I was thinking chicken wire or maybe some of that bird netting or something. And I didn't like the thoughts of that. So then I go, and I had this huge ball of twine. I go, oh, I'm just gonna do my macrame thing. Bunch of
You
square
did it
knots.
yourself? That's
Yes.
cool. I'm impressed.
So you got a hanger up here, and then I put the I guess there's 8. I think my strings were 21 feet long, or no, 24 feet long each string, and then the little red snippets are for just keeping them in so they don't move around the string. Once they started going, I took off the deals there. Got my ladder and moved it around a little bit. That was that. But it's in a pot on the shady side there, and I'm hoping it will sneak around and come up the post on the other side there.
How long did that take you?
Not very long. They're kind of widely spaced apart, so maybe 3 hours. I went out there after work and then until it got dark, and then came back in.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Ellen is very, very talented and crafty. I would take about 3 days.
It's not very big. It's probably about maybe a foot across, so it's not really a huge thing. It's long though, and then I was debating on what to put on the ends and to finish it off, and I decided these beads But if I was thought ahead of time, I might have used some of those beets kind of sprinkled up into the uh, column, but it was too late after I thought about that. So anyway, I'll have to report back when it gets full and show it up and see what
Yeah, we want to see a
turned out.
picture.
And then, did anybody else get some of Daisy Ma's lilies 2025 meeting in April? And here's her
Hmm.
garden with them. They're about 6 feet tall.
Well,
But so these are mine from that same crop in the left-hand corner. And they're already getting bulbils, which I thought was kind of weird for a young plant that hasn't even flowered yet. Does
You
anybody
know,
have
there's
any?
a reason she
Right.
gave them to Cal Hort.
Well,
what?
yeah, I'm sure she propagated them from all that because I mean, there's each one of these
It's
axils
probably
has at least one bulbil.
right. My
Sometimes
guess is
two.
it's becoming a weed in her garden, but it's a pretty weed. It's actually a very pretty weed.
And I don't have any of those pretty weeds, so I'll try it. I'll try them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, mine are about 2 feet, so I think I got a couple more years to go. Now, Janet,
So,
pretty in pink, celebration in pink.
okay, yeah, yeah, I guess everything was pink, but I have some calicortis that have bloomed in my bulb bed. So they're planted in a raised bed that is mostly sand, and they seem to be doing well there. And I believe I got all of these from seed in 2022. So, and they did bloom last year, but not nearly as prolifically as they are this year. So,
So,
Do they multiply easily for you?
they have, yes. Like there's definitely more this year than there was last year. So
I see you have like hardware
Wonderful.
cloth over it. Do they grow through the hardware cloth, or do you have to
I have
cut
to
holes?
kind of coax them through the holes because they're much taller than the hardware cloth. So
Yeah.
um, I have to kind of gently feed the tips through the holes so that they don't get bent over by the hardware cloth. The hardware cloth is to protect the bulbs from various and sundry creatures. But
Yes, and you have some underneath as well, or because they're in the pot, you don't have to worry about
no,
that.
I don't have trouble with gophers. That's one thing I don't have, but I do have rats and squirrels that will knock the pots over. And
Mm.
most of the bulbs in the bed are in pots, but I decided to put the calicortis actually into the sandy medium because I heard that the calicortis bulbs just gradually go down in the ground so that they need to be able to have more depth. So
Oh,
that's
nice.
why,
So those are in the ground in your raised bed.
yes, they're in the ground in the raised bed, not in pots. Yeah.
Oh, nice. And then how old are these? Well, you said
I put
22. You planted them.
2022 seeds from
Okay, so 4
the
years.
Pacific Bulb Exchange. Yeah.
Did you grow them in little pots and transplant them in? Or did you
Yes.
plant?
I actually start the seeds, and I like to make those little paper pots. I have one of those
Uh-huh.
doohickeys to wrap the paper around, and so then I could just push the whole pot into the ground. So I started in paper pots and then planted the paper pots into the bed. So
Yeah,
they
you
were
gave us a
not
demo of your
they were
paper
not in
pots a
an
couple years
intermediate
ago.
sized bed. They just went from a seed pot to the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. How big is
So,
your Deutzia? Beautiful.
The Dutsi is about 6 feet tall. I got it probably 20 years ago from Yamagami's back when I was working then. So more than 20 years ago. um, but it's blooming really nicely this year. And
Nice.
I
Is that
actually
kind of a vase-shaped plant or just a big rounded shrub, or how does that grow?
it's kind of open sprays is the way it
Oh,
grows.
okay.
I saw some, I was actually up in the Sonoma Botanical Garden a couple weeks ago, and they had several different varieties of Deutzia in bloom in their garden too. Much larger shrubs than what I have.
And do you have these in partial shade or full sun, or?
They're on the north side of the house, so it's mostly shade that I
Oh,
have them in.
nice.
Well,
Yeah.
Campbell's pretty hot, right?
Right, yes, it is very hot. So
And are these from hot areas? Because I don't know my Calcahortus, so.
the Deutzias actually
No,
the
the Deutzia I
Calicornis
know will grow.
Calicornis are from hot areas, yes.
Okay, because I have a Deutzia, but not this one. I have one that finished long before this one.
Yeah,
apparently.
I was back in the Great Smoky Mountains last year in May, and there were a bunch of Deutzia in bloom there. White ones, but along a creek. The Pinkaboo, I think, is a Monrovia hybrid.
Mhm. I
Okay.
don't know what mine is, but it's finished. I already start, but mine is, wants to be 10 feet tall or more. I'm pruning it now.
Well, because I transplanted this 3 times, that probably controlled its size somewhat.
No, no, I didn't.
Okay. Anything else?
I sometimes move plants around kind of like furniture, and that's been moved more than once. So,
It's
Right.
amazing how resilient they are sometimes, huh?
yep,
Mhm.
Just got to do it the right time of year.
yep. But yeah, and this one goes dormant in the wintertime, so it's pretty easy to transplant.
Oh, good. Yeah. Okie doke. Thank you, Janet. Oh, Heather, look at those raspberries.
Yeah,
Yellow. That's
they,
a beautiful combination in your hand.
oh my gosh, and they just melt in your mouth.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't help but share that. It's just like that is the epitome of spring, summer, and they were just
Those
so
blueberries are
perfect.
huge
So
too.
they're massive, I know, and
You're
yeah,
already
they just
getting them?
yeah, yeah. That
What
was probably
blueberry is
from
that?
2 weeks ago. This was in like Rockridge area of Oakland.
Yeah, but what's the
Variety.
variety?
I don't actually know. None
Oh.
of these are in my own garden. It's in clients' gardens. Um,
Oh.
Mine's got
so I
quite a few as well.
yeah,
One
they
bush
are
does, one
early
bush
though.
doesn't.
I don't know. I think I've got 6 varieties here in Campbell, and I've been picking them for a month now, I think.
Mm, hmm
Nice.
Wow.
Do you
Mine
think
are
they're kind of
later.
early
They are earlier this year, yes.
because of that heat wave?
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
Mm.
Mm, that's true. I was really just trying to dig out some photos to add to the plant form. So these are just some beautiful cymbidiums that just got transplanted maybe a month, maybe 2 months ago. And ever since that, they have just exploded. They were sort of being tortured in these pots before, and so giving them some new soil, and they've just really loved it. And it's in sort of like a dappled shade. You can see there's a pieris growing above it, and they're pretty happy.
Pretty with the little pink that around in the background with the
Mm-hmm.
daisies.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of complements the pink one. Making me
Yeah.
hungry with those
Very nice.
blueberries, raspberries.
And I just thought that this was a really fun combination. Yeah, the Leucospermum, I believe it's a Safari Sunset. And I have tried to grow Leucospermum in this yard. I've gone through maybe 3 of them and killed them all. And finally put this one in, and it's on. This slope does not look like much right there in the right photo, but it really is. Like you would slide down it if there wasn't plants right there. And I think that that is just the saving grace because
Yeah, they
it's
need
pretty
drainage.
clay, pretty heavy soil there. So I think it being on the slope
Looks
was
like it's in a raised bed as well. That might help.
I
Or is
mean,
it
I
in
don't
the
know about
same
a
spot
raised
that the other ones
bed.
died?
Yeah, we're just on a slope right there, and so that's the retaining wall, I guess, that needs to hold it all together. And then the street is right next to it.
Is that the
Um,
right plant, the pink anthillus?
oh, the no, that is that's a Dorsinium hirsutum. Dors I know I'm saying it wrong. It's Dorycnium.
Dorycinum.
Dor
Dorycinum.
Dorsinum hirsutum. It's
Yeah.
like a hairy canary flower.
Oh, hers,
They
hers. Okay.
Hirsutum, yeah. They are workhorses and they spread. I mean, that thing is maybe 2 or a year and a half, and it was in just a little 1 gallon, and it's like 2, 3 feet. And they can take really poor soil, which is fantastic. Same with this strappy plant that's to the right. That's an Aristia inequalis, and they've got beautiful blue flowers on them. Also super low water, take bad soil. Mm. Yeah, it's just a fun plant combo.
Okay. And that was Safari Sunset, the
Hmm.
leucadendron
Yep,
or leucospermum, excuse me.
yep.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Gorgeous combination. And
Oh yeah. All right, so I found this guy up in the hills of Oakland, and I had just unearthed a pretty big irrigation leak. So there was like a mini pond that was happening in his garden. And I found this blue roly-poly, and I had actually wondered if it was because this thing was, living in really wet conditions. but it's not. It's actually it's a virus, as Ellen wrote. So
Mm.
they're getting these like crystalline structures underneath their exoskeleton, and that creates the blue. Sometimes it can be purple too. Um, but it's definitely fatal. So this guy might not still be with us right now, but it was fun to find.
That was amazing. Beautiful color. I had never
I
seen one of those
know.
before.
Me neither. And have seen a
Mm.
lot of roly-polies.
Mm.
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
Have you seen a blue one, Kristen?
You know, I may have. I never thought about any of it. I just thought, oh, that's interesting and moved on because roly-polies are, roly-polies.
I mean, that's amazing, vivid blue. I
Well,
wonder if you can make
especially
ink out
because
of them or
she has
something.
the white glove on and then you really see it. But
That's
Mm.
true.
I used to think roly-polies were bad for the garden, but they're not. So,
And Jeff,
Yeah, so this little plant is something I got from the botanical garden, but the Berkeley Botanical Garden. And let me just pull up my information about it. This is the Brodea californica Babylon. It is an endemic to California and grows to be about a couple feet tall on tall flower stalks, but otherwise is doesn't have a lot of foliage. And I've got it in my crevice rock garden, and it is first time bloom. I'm very happy to see it. It's just a beautiful little flower that is flying up above like a little cloud above the rest of the crevice garden, and it just got me all excited. So I thought I'd share it.
fun.
Very
What's
cute.
the red bloom in there?
Some pelargoniums.
Okay.
Not sure exactly which kind.
Mm.
Okay. That's gorgeous. Oh,
Mm.
And this is a project. I think I might have shared about this before, but this is just kind of an update. 1 year ago, I had a this 36 pouch wall garden that I had taken everything out of it, restarted it, and planted it with begonias. And so what you're looking at on the left is the day after I finished planting it, and that was exactly a year ago. And and these are all primarily rhizomatous begonias, but a few that are tuberous and a couple that are more stemmy. And the picture on the right is from yesterday, and it is looking fantastic. The key for me was adding the irrigation. You can see the irrigation lines up at the top, and every so often I'll give it a little bit of a spray to just generally wet things. But the kind of every other day, 15 minutes or 10 minutes of watering seems to be just exactly what they like, and it's going fantastically well. I love it.
do you fertilize it?
I am using a mixture of water and worm castings.
Oh,
you
good.
just sprinkle the worm castings on the top of the soil,
I'm actually
or do you make them tea out of
I'm
it,
slushing, yeah, making a tea, the short version. Yeah.
and that'll go through your drip
Uh,
system, or do you put that kind of by
I actually
hand?
have like what is it, about like a 10 cc uh,
Syringe.
syringe. And so I
Oh,
just snorkel it up into the syringe and then go around and give each plant a squirt, um, and that's it.
Oh, that's cool. And then
yeah.
on your drip system, do the it drip on the first one, and then whatever it drains into the next one, drains into the next one, drains into the next one.
Exactly. I'm just relying on gravity.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Super easy. Yeah.
Nice.
Charlotte.
Okay. The Alstroemeria Yentl is something I found at Peacock Nursery last year. And it's a short stemmed one, but it's got really pretty flowers. And then the Gilia, actually I got that at Orchard Nursery.
Uh-huh.
And I was really hoping to get the plain tricolor one that Ellen put in there.
Just
But
for
actually, this one's
contrast.
very pretty, and the blue pollen really shows up on it.
You don't, you mean the note the baby pollen should be note the blue pollen.
Yes, the
Yeah.
baby blue pollen,
Okay,
the blue
just had
pollen,
to
yes.
ask. I'm always difficult, you
Yeah.
know.
And I had planted actually a baby blue eyes next to it, but some critter got it.
I never can get baby blue eyes to go.
Disappointing.
I've given up on those. I think
They're
some
so
of the
cute
snails
though.
eat them.
Yeah, no, I think something from underneath got it.
Yeah, I've never seen that, Gilly. Was that just a selection then, you think? Or do you know anything about Felicia?
Yeah, that felicitatus. Apparently, on the garden tour we did that was with Horties, somebody had a whole bunch of them, and I
Hmm.
think there were a lot of variations on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes the pollen stow up really well.
Does it reseed and come true to that color?
It's the first time I've planted it, so I
Oh,
have
okay.
no idea what it's going to
Yeah.
happen. We'll see. And then the Salviculasis is reblooming from last year, which is nice. When I look at it in the garden, I don't see all those veins, but the camera seemed to, pick up light through the petals or something and made the veins more obvious. And then I have a lot of the Gladiolus cardinalis.
Yeah, the Salpy glosses, I love that. They're almost like a velvety texture to the foliage, and then a lot of the veins are contrasting color, which makes them really showy. Anything else?
Just, a sampling of things that are blooming in my garden currently.
Okay. I just put a thing about corms and between corms and bulbs, so
You can't read it when it's under our pictures on my screen.
you can't read it.
No, because all of our pictures are on top of the written part.
Oh, you should be able to move that actually.
I don't know. Maybe I can.
Anyway, it's endemic to South Africa, growing from a corm, which is a swollen vertical underground stem, unlike a bulb, which has layers. The storage adaptation gets the dormant plant through the dry season. When the plant starts flowering, a new corm typically grows on top of the original corm, and the old corm shrivels, and the newer one expands to carry it over for the dry season. Many corms form small cormlets at the base of the corm and help with asexual reproduction. These are too small to flower, but corms are eaten by critters, and this additional strategy ensures survival.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks.
The Veronica perfoliata. When I bought it, it was called Parahebe. Then it was changed to Derwentia. And now they have it as Veronica. People walk by and go, "Oh, this is that eucalyptus." They are from Australia, so I imagine that is why there's some similarity with the way the foliage is on it. It's kind of surrounds the stem, but flowers definitely are not eucalyptus flowers.
No.
Pretty combination though with that soft gray and the flower color. I wonder what the adaptation for that perfoliate leaves is for.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out.
There must be a reason. And then you got
The
favorites
mimulus.
here.
Yeah. So it's just going gangbusters right now.
I have a few in my garden, and they just really draw your attention. I don't know if it's just that pure white or what with against the green, but it's really very showy in the garden. And pretty good bloomer too.
Yeah.
Okay, and Kristen.
Okay, so Ellen told me she was the only one I wouldn't have put this many in. It was windy blowing. I don't know. Did you guys have all the wind today that I had? It was
The last
awful.
couple days, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is, no, it's Lava Terra trimestris. Didn't I write trimestris?
Sylvestris. This is.
It's not
Trimesters. Okay, I got a
Sylvestris,
couple
it's
of
trimestris. It's
Okay,
out of
got
the
it.
Mediterranean. I've struggled growing it, and I finally decided to try planting it in the fall from seed in pots. And then I did get it to grow. I put it in the ground before any real cold, although we hardly had any cold this year. And the only thing is, when they were little and I first planted them out of the pots, the snails went after them, so I had to bait. But I've seen one in when I was garage sailing that was like 5 feet tall, And of course, I don't know how long they last, but it is a mallow and why not, right?
Well, there you go.
There you have it. Yeah. And in there, by the way, if you look carefully at that picture, there is a fried egg poppy there, a Matilaha on the right-hand side of
Oh,
the
right
second.
here?
Yeah,
Oh,
because I
yeah.
didn't think they would grow at all. So, yeah, it's an annual. And then I have sweet peas. We hardly ever talk about annuals. And the problem is I love sweet peas. Problem is it also decided to germinate in this garden, my succulent garden. At least it doesn't kill anything underneath it so far. And I love the color. I bought three clothing racks at IKEA in the children's department that were painted red. They were $20 a piece, which is cheaper than anything you can buy in the garden store. And so they were these red sculptures all winter, and then all of a sudden the peas started coming on, and you can hardly see the red racks, but they're in there if you look carefully. And I let them grow to a certain level and try to get a few seeds in there every year because I'm one of these people who believes you need to put in peas to, establish nitrogen in the soil. That's what the Fabaceae do. And of course, they're sweet peas to harvest, and red is one of my favorite colors. So,
Yeah, it's clever with the racks. It probably looked like sculpture in the wintertime, but you
yeah,
don't
it
really
did look
notice it at
like
all.
sculpture. Actually, Diane Goldsmith, who used to be our newsletter chair, she came over with her cousin, and she absolutely loved them. And she has quite an art collection. But it just caught my eye, and I thought for $20 a piece, it was cheap. Why not have some fun?
I love using things for other than what they're used for.
Oh, absolutely. Now, this is the big excitement for me. This is Pavonia multiflora. It is native to Brazil. This particular one I had in a pot, sold as a house plant primarily. And one of the problems I have with the Malvaceae in pots is that the scale goes after it because the ants, herd the scale. And I would spend hours cleaning it up, and then it just got really too big and it gets really gangly in the pot. And I'm friends with Byron, and I talked to him about it. I said, yeah, we grow it. They don't have the scale problem, but he says it does really get gangly. So I decided if you, I don't think we ever had him, but if you ever went to Plant Delight's website years ago, he used to write articles because yeah, names are always out of my head now. The guy who owns Plant Delights actually has a horticulture degree, and he writes articles about things, and he's very famous for having planted tropical plants in colder climates. And his theory was you plant in June, no later than June, and that way the plant has time to develop sugars in its roots, and it'll push itself from those roots in the next year, even though they might frost on top. Well, I started using that years ago. I tried this plant years ago, but that didn't work. But that's when I still saw 18. Now I'm seeing this year's low, I think was 26 for 2 hours and once, and the rest of the time 27, 28, and when it was cold, and all very short periods. And it's not just about how deep the cold goes, but um, how long it goes. And the other thing I did was I planted it amongst my crepe myrtle trees, which yes have no leaves, but no. Ted Kipping was over, and I said to Ted at the time, I don't get it, it's so much warmer under my crepe myrtle trees and they don't have any leaves. And he said, Kristen, the trees themselves, the bark gives off heat. So I don't know exactly what the temperature was around these guys, but I know that we did hit 27. And the flowers, unlike most mallows, which last a day, these were in bloom all winter. And the hummers were at the flowers pretty much every day. It was fascinating to watch because it's right outside my bedroom window. And now the plants are number one, I have no scale at all. They're branching, number two, and they're still blooming, and they're gorgeous. So I'm very excited. This is my big excitement.
Nice.
Mhm.
So Cornus capitata
It's gorgeous.
Living where I did, I've been told of all the things that I couldn't have in my garden, and Cornus capitata was one, but I met a guy who was actually growing them for Suncrest at the time, and he had developed a method of growing capitata on a mountain moon, on grafting on just regular capitata seeds that he germinated, which I have tried, but I have not been successful. But
So it was the roots that were the problem and not frosting on the top.
yeah, but
Oh, interesting.
well, again, I'm warming. I mean, a lot. I never saw temperatures like this in the 90s. But now it's huge, as you can see. That's the roof of my house. And of course, after the fire guy that we had speak, I'm always fearful I'm going to be told I have to take it out, and I don't know, I'll probably lose it. But I thought Dave Fikes always had his blooming year round, and I was a little jealous. And then I realized mine blooms almost year round and probably will begin to bloom year round. This is the big bloom right now, but then I try to deadhead it to some degree and prune it, and then it starts blooming again, but not as prolifically as this time of year. And on the right is Bratilla striata, but I couldn't find the name. I thought I had gotten it from Plant Delights, but it's not that one. But this is a later blooming one, and they do really well for me in partial sun. If they get a good amount of sun during the day, my other ones have already finished blooming, but this one is in full bloom right now. And it grows really well, and it made it through the drought, not without any difficulty. I'm really
How,
impressed by the plant, and I don't know why it's not a regular thing in the garden because it really does well.
Can you
how much
tell us
sun
about
is
the
that
soil?
getting?
Yeah.
Right
Oh,
now, it's getting probably about 8 to 10 hours.
wow. I'm
Yeah.
so
Wow.
surprised. Yeah, it is
Well,
described as a
Looks like you have
shade
some
plant,
shade
but
around
it's,
there, though.
right, there is, but this one is sitting in the sun,
Hmm.
wow,
and
And
it's
excellent.
soil,
and
water?
it's by the crepe myrtle tree, but on the south side of it. And it might get, but I lost my Acacia provissima, and so I don't get any sun protection on the west side of it anymore, and it's still happy.
Oh, good. I had to leave all your watering
Watering
cans sitting there
cans.
in a line.
Well,
Yeah,
I am not as fancy. The lady we just had speak, and I wasn't going to say anything. They do get rain. I'm sorry. They don't know what it's like,
they
but
don't. They
they
don't.
don't they don't get rain up there.
Where?
Oh, up in on that island. I mean, she
Oh,
talks
I'm
about
sure they
drought.
get a ton of rain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
So
They
I
don't know what it's like for us.
I collect rainwater from my roof. I have a whole system that pumps it into these olive tanks, and my son was able to get two more, so I have four giant olive tanks that were converted to water tanks. And I find rainwater is especially useful for my potted plants.
Mhm.
So, especially, I grow a lot of, you know, crown of thorns, euphorbia. I can't think of the second name, but
Millii,
what?
millii.
Millii. And I have all different, hybrids and everything, and a few other interesting things that, I water by hand because they like that kind of water. Pot
Yeah,
plants like rainwater better anyway.
yeah, yeah.
So, and that's it, right? Am I
Nope.
done?
One more.
Nice.
One more?
Your
Oh,
clerodendron
this is
rafficas.
so exciting. I'm glad I still made it. So it used to be called Clerodendron ugandense. Now it's called Rothica miriatica, something or other, ugandense. And the one on the left is the one that you buy from every nursery. And I got my first one from Cartoo's Greenhouses, and I bought it before I moved to New Jersey the first time in 1984. And I coddled it along. I had a kind of greenhouse area in my house, and it always got white fly and disease. And when I moved back out here, I put it in the ground. Clerodendron ugandense is from Uganda. It is a tree. And I planted it in May. I didn't know what I was doing in those days. And it grew and bloomed in the fall. And my whole goal was just to see it bloom. And then we had, let's see, that was in and I planted it in 88, and we didn't have the freeze until the following year. But it did freeze back the first year, but it started making like a woody clump. What's that called? A codex? Something like that.
Oh, no, no, never mind.
You know what I'm talking about. So it would
If
freeze
you
to the
cut it off, it'll sprout.
right.
Yeah.
Well, it froze to the ground and it would always
Okay.
come back. I was shocked. That was my first experience with the tropical growing out here. And so I had it for years and it would always bloom in the fall. And then it began to die off because it was too many freezes back. So I made some new ones and put them into my front bed. And it's blooming now. It never bloomed until September before, just so you
Mhm.
understand. Doesn't freeze back anymore at all. And the one on the right, I went on a road trip in the late 90s, and one of the stops was Gary Hammer's nursery. I never met him, but it was a very interesting nursery, and he had a blue form that he brought in. Except it looks kind of purple here, doesn't it,
It does
relative
look very
to...
purple, yeah.
Yeah, but it's bluer. Maybe the light was different. I don't know, but it's a much bluer form, and they're both blooming today. And I just thought, so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't get any better than that,
Very
right?
nice.
Gary Hammer used to go to the Southern California Hort Society and bring all sorts of fun and interesting plants.
Yeah, but I mean, you could go to his nursery and
I never
my
went to his nursery, but yeah.
well, Diane Goldsmith was with me one year, and there was a woman who walked us around, and we were so excited because we had this idea that we were going to do an exhibit for the landscape and flower show with she had this hanging moss and she showed us when you walked through it that it made your skin feel smoother, and we were going to use that. And then we went to Bird Rock Tropical and there were all these bromeliads and staghorn ferns which we were going to make lights and stuff out of, and our husbands told us we were nuts, and we probably were.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah, it would have been
Would have
fun.
been great.
Thank you, Kristen, for sharing all those fun, exciting experiments and discoveries. We appreciate that. Richard wanted an ID on this, and I think it's Ornithogalum
Yeah.
arabica. Did
I
anybody
know
else?
the
I mean,
second
I'm just
name, they sell them every year. The white one I found really lasts. I mean, I have it in the garden and it comes back every year. The orange and the yellow ones, which you get at Trader Joe's, never make it, but I keep buying them, hoping maybe it will this year.
so is that you're agreeing that it's Ornithogalum or
Yeah,
arabicum? Okay,
What is the species of this one?
arabicum, like Arab,
Okay.
Arabicum.
it's the toughest one. It's the
Okay.
most cold hardy of
I
them.
think it's most interesting. I love that. I'm assuming that's the ovary, the black. I would
Oh,
Mhm.
assume.
It's been
yeah.
this one's been in a pot for about 4 years, and it's the first time it's ever bloomed.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
Oh,
fun.
it's wonderful. Congratulations.
It's so exciting when you get something to bloom after all the years that you've had it and it never did anything,
After
isn't it?
Right.
years
Yeah.
of foliage. Does anybody else have any announcements?
Yeah, July we're having Planting Justice. This is something that has an organization. Actually, I found out my daughter has already donated to them. They bring prisoners in for that, ex-cons to learn about planting and nursery, and it has actually helped the recidivism, whatever recidivism.
Recidivism, yeah.
Recidivism.
Yeah, and
Great.
we've met a couple of the people, and they're just very excited about it. They really learn to love plants, and it kind of stabilizes them. But they also grow really strange stuff, and the things they grow, one of them is they have two nursery areas that grow perennial vegetables, and
Oh,
I have a perennial cabbage. It's really
oh,
cool.
excellent.
Well,
Excellent.
Dotson was saying they have like 300 varieties of pomegranates and all sorts of really
Yeah,
interesting
so it
fruit
ought to
trees
be
and
good.
stuff.
Yeah, so we'll have his talk, and then we'll hopefully go to it. That'll be a coffee in the garden.
That would be fun.
Okay.
And I think that would be really
Okay.
interesting too. I've not been to his nursery or had heard of it actually.
Yeah, no, I actually, Melissa, who's not here tonight, but she was the one who took me to see it, and I was like, whoa, because
Oh, good.
I could find plants
Great.
that I didn't have, and that's pretty challenging these days.
Where is this nursery?
It's over in San Pablo.
Oh, that's doable.
Oh yeah, they have
Well,
their
they have
nurseries are
two
all over the
nurseries.
Bay Area. They're a city
Great,
group, really, essentially. I haven't seen all their
great.
farms, but I think it'll be. You never think of that as a horticulture thing, but face it, vegetables are horticulture too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Frankly, yeah. I think
Yeah.
vegetables are harder to grow than flowers.
You
Yes,
know,
I agree.
when people put their interest on the membership thing, quite a few mention that they're interested in growing edibles. So
This might be
Excellent.
a big
it's good for
attractant.
us to feature that on occasion.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Well, there are a lot of. I mean, she showed some stuff like the oh shoot, the blue flowered. You can eat the flowers. People put them in ice cubes when
Borage.
borage.
Oh, nice.
That comes back for me constantly, and
Yeah,
I
me
I
too.
leave it, but it's always in my desert garden. It's really interesting what always comes back only in my desert
They're
garden.
really showy too.
Likes
Yes,
that drainage.
Well,
I guess.
edibles are a good introduction drug for planters.
Introduction drug to plants.
Yeah.
Gateway drug, right?
Gateway, that was the word I needed.
Gateway
Okay.
drug.
Tropicals were my gateway. My first plant was the Livingstone. I was so excited by that
Oh,
plant.
yeah.
Oh,
I
I love those.
tried it too.
I want to try to grow some from seed because I want to make me a little garden of lithops.
I had it for years, but they eventually everything, dies.
And
The
evidently they
re-
need like really deep pots. Succulent
Have,
Society had a program on
have
those, and
you
I'm
been
just
to the Western Cape? We were taken to an area where it was just covered with lithops, all sorts and kinds, and
all
just
different colored
tiny and,
tops,
huh?
all different colored tops.
no, I
Uh,
think those are
no, they
more.
all looked similar, but they ultimately some were flowering and then they were all different and it
Oh,
was
neat.
wonderful. But it was hardscape. It was really dry, crusty, lots of tiny rocks on the soil and sand.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
it
imagine.
was an
There's
Well, but
environment that most of
you
us
you
don't
have to
have.
understand, I was on the Eastern Cape. I've been both sides. The second time I went with colitis.
Oh, nice.
And we met a guy, and I'm friends with him on Facebook, who took us out to look for lithops in a field. And the soil is red, and we're all looking for lithops, and nobody's finding anything. And he's laughing at us
Because they're
because
red,
they were right there.
they were,
And when
yeah,
they finally showed us what we were looking for, all of a sudden we saw it all. But that's
yeah,
the disguise. And I would never have thought they would have been in a grassy field, but they
Oh
are.
yeah, I wouldn't have
yeah,
either.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so that was an
interesting.
interesting experience
Yeah.
being with him.
Okay, folks, anything else?
Okay.
I bid you
Hey,
all adieu.
Yeah.
thank you, Ellen.
Thank you,
We'll
Ellen.
see you
And
in
thank you,
July.
Mary.
No,
And
not
thank
July,
you,
June.
Sue.